Thank you very much.
I call David Bennett.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. It's a great pleasure to speak on the Taxation, Transformation, First Phase Simplification and Other Measures Bill. This bill is the first phase of changes to progress the business transformation case, and I'm very sure, my dear, and it includes things like electronic communication, simplifying the collection of tax on employee share schemes, information sharing, and there are some other tax simplification measures around KiwiSaver, FIF schemes and co-location of services and special tax codes. So as the Minister has said, this is a bill which is part of a process. It is part of that simplification process and goes through some of the issues around communication that can always be made better, especially with a very complex and detailed system such as the tax system. I was interested in that last speaker who once again reiterated in his comments that there is no capital gains tax, the firm belief of the Labor Party to have a capital gains tax. I know that is somewhat contrary to the Green position, where they want to tax property each year on the value increase of that property, whether or not it is sold or not. And well, that is true. That is what the Green Party wants to do. No, we'll ask Julianne Ginger, the Green Party would have tax on the capital value increase of a property. That's what you want to tax on, and that's the Green Party policy. And this has been enunciated a number of times by Ms Genter. And so it's one of those difficulties that you're going to see between the new coalition of the willing between the Labor and the Green parties. In the past, Helen Clark was not so silly. When the coalition was formed, she did it with New Zealand First and not with the Green Party.
Order. This is a third reading speech, and if the member refers to Speaker's rulings, 136 and 130 on pages 136 and 137, it's very clear what is within the scope of a third reading. I'll ask the member to come back to that. David.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Yes, and in regards to tax, there are a dichotomy of points of view. Well, New Zealand First, it'd be interesting to hear their point of view on capital gains tax as well, and I'm sure we'll come to that soon. Because on the other side of the House, we are hearing that the transformation of the tax bills that they are seeking would be to involve that kind of tax system change, and that is not being proposed in this bill. This bill is around transformation and simplification in the sense of what is required to make the existing tax system work as well as possible, and that's all part of the business transformation case that is going on, and the money that has been put into the budget to enable that to happen is also an important part of that process. So, Mr Speaker, it's important that the public recognise that there is a difference of opinion in tax in this House. On this side, we have a system which we're working to maintain and make the best of. On the other side of the House, there are differences of opinion, and that will soon become shown through their agreements as we go through to the election next year. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Call the Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
Well, Mr Speaker, that was